all of them, a lot of them later in various capacities, and one of them in particular was Alexei Leonov, who claimed, and I'd have any reason to doubt, was the cosmonaut selected to fly on the flight that the Russians didn't approve that would have beat us around the moon. He was very unhappy that they didn't let him go.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Next. Good questions. Should have had you do it sitting up in this chair. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Robin Grugan Capper, and my dad went to school with you, Colonel Borman, and you and your wife stayed at my parents in Peru for a couple of weeks when you were there. I have a question about the photographs that you took from, I don't know if it was 8 or 11. I see them all the time. The Earthrise is the most beautiful photo I've ever seen, and I believe you took it. I also have a couple of photos of the coast of Peru that were taken from one of the Apollos. Do any of you recall taking them? Did you all take photographs?
Anders took all the pictures.
And Frank wouldn't let me look out of the window during orbit. That is the truth. We were too busy. We only spent an orbit and a half. I think I got one shot of San Diego, my hometown, when he wasn't looking. But our pictures were all post-injection towards the moon.
Mm-hmm. The Peru pictures probably came from Gemini, don't you imagine?
Yeah, I think so.
You signed them, so I
We
thought
had
maybe they were from one of
inside,
yours.
we had photography inside through the camera, but that's about it.
There were great pictures and a great question. Thank you very and a reattachment to somebody you knew a long time ago.
Right.
That's great. Step right up. This is great.
Hi, I'm Deidre Adams. I was at the Apollo 8 launch. It was fabulous. I really enjoyed it. But when I went home to watch you circle the moon, I was convinced that you were going to encounter an alien outpost and be captured. Did that thought ever cross any of your minds?
Wow, here we go again.
Back to Roswell.
Well, actually, we did the flight at Area 51 at Roswell.
There's been a lot of talk about UFOs and so on Gemini, and our flight on Gemini 7, while we were doing IR tracks on the booster that put us there, I referred to it as a bogey. And there was a magazine back then called True Magazine. And they wrote an article saying that we were under control of the government, we'd really seen a UFO, which is all pure baloney.
Absolutely.
Baloney.
Absolutely.
And
Edible.
ever since then, I get letters about I'm lying because I've seen a UFO. I've never seen a UFO. I don't think there are UFOs. And I don't know. I have to ask you.
Young lady, there are no UFOs. There is nothing going around the Earth looking at us. Now there is probably intelligent life in the universe, and other galaxies or other stars or something like that. We'd be very naive to think that we were the only intelligent people in the universe. But as far as little green men visiting us, don't worry about it.
We've all been sworn to say that.
You're a troublemaker. That's what.
At the pain of death.
There's one in every crowd. All right. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Daniel Ackward, and I'm from Laurel, Maryland, and I'm a really big space enthusiast. My question is, what problems happened on Apollo 8?
Let's find out. Did we have any problems on Apollo 8 that you had to
Yes,
work around?
I'll mention one. Because it's kind of interesting. It's my fault, by the way. I'll start out right from the beginning.
That's why he's mentioning it.
Yeah.
He knew we would if he didn't. We know a couple others.
I was the navigator on Apollo 8, and my job was to make sure that the gyros were properly aligned at all times with respect to the celestial sphere. And I did that through the computer and the guidance system. And there was a program that I could put into the computer that would then, I could select stars, and the spacecraft would then automatically drive up, and the optics would then go look at the star, and I could look through the little telescope, and if the star wasn't directly in the center of the crosshairs, but off a little bit, I could move it, center it, push a button. It would take the time and the 3 angles. And that's how we aligned the platform all the time to make sure we knew our attitude. I got to be very good at it. I was almost like a concert pianist playing a Steinway. And on the way home, the people on the ground still wanted more and more information to see how well this system was working. So one time in my haste to do this, I put the wrong program in. Instead of telling about aligning the platform, I told the computer that we are back at the launch pad before the flight, and the rocket was still vertical, and we're all waiting for the launch. And of course, the whole guidance system went back to Cape Canaveral.
Spacecraft went.
The 8 ball went all sorts of ways, and we lost complete knowledge about our attitude. Fortunately, we did have a backup system, which required me to go to the window, look out, and saying, "Is that really rigging us up there?" And then manually driving the spacecraft around and trying to get that little telescope in there to take a sighting on that star. But fortunately, the training we had prevailed, and we were able to get the alignment back again. But there's always, a silver lining, because on 13 we had to shut off that thing, and so we had to do it on purpose. And so with that previous training, really helped me.
I was flying the spacecraft at the time. I think Frank was sleeping, and suddenly the ball started moving, and I thought we'd had a stuck thruster. So I went to correct it, and so now the spacecraft was moving. So Frank came up out of the sleep station, and I won't tell you what he was saying. But you'd think he was a Navy man, not an Army man. And this was like not very many hours before reentry. So that was...
This is touchy.
Yeah. But I'm glad Jim got his practice for Apollo 13.
That wasn't easy either. I couldn't have done it. Jim did a great job realigning the thing, because trying to identify a particular star when you don't have a wide range of vision is pretty tough.
So what did you have to say to him about the tiny little mistake he had made?
Please don't do that again.
That was nice of you. Yeah, please.
The FCC will penalize the network. Tells you.
Yes, sir. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked it. Did you have another one? Go ahead.
In this TV series From the Earth to the Moon, the engine went out. Did that actually happen? Did you almost get stuck in lunar orbit?
What was that?
I don't know.
If the engine had gone out, would we have been stuck in orbit? Yes, we would be.
Did the engine almost go out, or did everything go smooth in orbit?
Worked as fine as far as we knew.
Okay.
We're here.
Did you? You've been told to say that. I see.
My body double.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another young man stepping up to the microphone right now. These folks are good.
Yeah.
They know what they're
Hi, my name is Brian Ackward. I'm from Laurel, Maryland, and my question is, I'm a space enthusiast too, and my question is, what was your most memorable part about the flight?
Most memorable part about Apollo 8, or any Apollo 8, about Apollo 8. The most memorable moment, the thing that you think about most now if you think about Apollo 8. Let me start with you, Bill.
Well, seeing the Earth, the Earthrise picture is certainly a memorable part, and it's been picked up by the press, and it helped kickstart the environmental movement. And Al Gore used that picture in Inconvenient Truth. I think that was right after he thought he took it, right after he invented the Internet.
Oh, tough. Wait a minute.
But the most memorable thing for me was to see the Earth about as big as your fist at arm's length, and realize that if we'd been 10 lunar distances away, which is going nowhere in space, now the Earth would be 1/10 that size. And the idea that the Earth is so tiny, almost trivial on the physical scale of things, I don't think that's sunk in general to humanity. I think a lot of people still think that the whole system revolves around the Earth. And it doesn't. The Earth is, out in the left field of a puny galaxy where there are, billions of them out there. And Jim had mentioned other things, other intelligence. I think that's got to be the case. And so to the degree we can get it across to ourselves that, that we're not quite as important as we thought, I think it would help. But on the other hand, this is our home planet, and we need to take care of it.
Moment.
Yeah, my most memorable moment was when I looked out the window and saw water splashing on the thing.